A defensive threat, sometimes shortened to defth, is a counter threat you make while blocking your opponent's threat. Played well, it turns the table around. You win back the tempo, and you can even flip a losing defense into a win. Let's look at an example. X builds an open 4, and O has to block it on both ends. There are 3 ways to block: defense 1, defense 2, and defense 3. Defense 3 is the worst. It lets X keep up the attack and force a win like this. Defense 2 does better. It answers with a depth of its own, a gapped 4, so now X has to respond or lose on the spot. X blocks the gapped 4 and strikes back with its own depth, an open 4, and O has to cover both ends. X can no longer force a win, but a steady chain of threats keeps neutralizing everything O throws back. Defense 1 is the only correct answer. It strikes back with 2 defensive threats at once. No matter where X plays, O replies with an open 4 and a closed 4 in a single turn, which can't be stopped. It's tempting to answer a threat by setting up a defensive threat of your own, but the effective defense is sometimes an unintuitive move you'd only find by looking a few turns ahead. Let's walk through a tricky example. Here, X builds an open 4. Intuitively, this defense makes sense. At the top, it forms an open 2 and a closed 3. And at the bottom, it lays the groundwork for a defensive threat with a gapped 3. Unfortunately, it's the wrong defense. That gapped 3 never matures into a real threat, and X can force a win like this. If O blocks the open 4 this way, X can still force a win. Let's go back to the initial threat. This time, try a defense with a dangling singleton down there. It looks weak, but its value shows up later. X keeps up the attack with another open 4. Again, you might be tempted to block this way and start a gapped 3 of your own. But on its own, it threatens nothing. So that intuition is also wrong, and X can force a win from here. The correct defense blocks the open 4 with a gap on the right side. If X tries the same attack, that seemingly innocuous piece quietly stops the open 2 from extending downward. And now most of X's pieces are trapped inside O's enclosure, which poses a serious threat. The most effective defense sometimes looks wrong at first. When a move seems weak, look a few turns ahead before you write it off. Subscribe for more strategy breakdowns and check the description to play.